Hello everyone and welcome back to the garage, where today we're going to be taking a look inside the box of this, the 1/72 scale Boulton Paul Defiant Mark 1 from Airfix. So let's take a look inside the kit, the contents of the box, and find out whether this kit is worth the price. Okay, so let's start with the box art then. Here we can see a Boulton Paul Defiant in formation where we're in combat with a HE-111. This is over the Battle of Britain, possibly, or over Britain in general. Of course, these are night fighters made to defend Britain from German bomber raids during World War II. And here we have, obviously on the front, our two decal schemes, obviously the information about the aircraft, and this is quite a cool combat picture. I like how this wing kind of comes out of the frame, if that makes sense, and covers up the Airfix logo a little bit. I think that's quite cool. So let's get on to the top half of the box, where we have some information about the Boulton Paul Defiant and both the schemes. So the first one is from number 264 Squadron in July of 1940, which is this scheme here. Very interesting looking aircraft indeed, and I believe it's the same scheme that was included in the 1/48 scale version of this kit. So obviously an aircraft that's quite interesting there. I'm not 100% sure on what the history of that aircraft is, but I'm assuming it's some very cool one. Obviously it's the green and brown camouflage there, and a more difficult pattern to replicate. And then the other one is the night fighter variant from the 151 Squadron in February 1941. Now this aircraft I do know a little bit about. It has obviously on the front there a nose art. And that's for intimidation practices, apparently, during the Second World War. Obviously, this would be up at night, and having the face on it was morale boosting for the RAF and supposed to be striking fear into the hearts of German bomber crews. Now, I know a little bit about that livery from an Airfix video they released about the 1/48 scale kit, which I believe has both the same liveries, so both the same decal scheme, should I say, rather than liveries. But yeah, so I'm assuming these two Defiants have some interesting history to them that I don't know off by heart. Now here it tells us what products to use from Humbrol. Not really interested in that really. I've got everything I need. Here we have the Airfix flying hours, which of course you can cut out and keep those. If you're an Airfix club member, you can use them to redeem more kits, or you can donate them to charity. Models for Heroes, take them and use those. So if you aren't an Airfix club member and you have a stockpile of these, you can always donate them to charity. And it's really quite a nice thing to do. So to the side of the box then, I like to cut these out and stick them up on the wall next to my modelling bench. I think it looks really cool. It is cool. The only issue is I'm running out of space on the wall. But yeah, all it has there, of course, is just the aircraft itself and essentially a shortened version of the front of the box. So speaking of, let's crack this box open and have a look what's inside. Now, I have actually looked in this box before. I really couldn't help myself. I was really interested in what was in here. So unfortunately, they're not all packaged how they would be. I have taken these out, but I haven't really touched them more than that. I've just taken out the plastic to take a little look. So let's start then with the paperwork. So here we have our instructions printed in colour. Oh, hello. Printed in colour, which is nice. Always good to see. And obviously this includes all the instructions here. I'm assuming we're going to have options for gear up or down. I'm still not sure which one I'm going to build, up or down. I might build it with the gear down. We'll see. I think I'm going to do the night fighter variant, so we'll see how it goes from there. So we've got obviously all the information here. Obviously we have a pilot figure included. We have well, optional, of course. We don't have to put him in, but he is there if we want to. And obviously the aircraft will come together like so, very nicely. Gear up and gear down options, as you can see here, so you do have a choice in what we do. I'm probably going to do this with the gear down, but we'll see how we go. Obviously a lot of glass work as well, as you can see, which obviously the Defiant has a turret, a rear gunner's turret, so yeah, a lot of kind of masking that's going to have to be done to make this look properly good. There might be masking sets online for it, but who knows, not me, unfortunately. This is the livery I'm probably going to do, the night fighter variant. Very, very cool, kind of, that black livery, very intimidating, with that nose art as well. I think that looks really, really cool. And it might be a little bit easier to replicate as well. But of course, there is the day fighter version here with the bi-colour camouflage. But yeah, that is the instruction booklet. Let's get on to the actual decals and the instruction sheet. No? Let's get on to the decals and stencil data. So here is the stencil data, which I pulled out of the instruction sheet just a minute ago. Not too complex, just little bits and bobs here. Not too many in compared to other kits that we see. And then finally, out of the paperwork at least, the decal sheets. Obviously cartograph decals, so up to the normal Airfix standard. These are really nice decals. They'll come off the backing paper nicely, as you would expect. Obviously portioned off here by the livery. This one down here is the Day Fighter, the one in the middle is the Night Fighter, and the top is common. But yeah, really, really nice actually. That's really good. What you'd expect really from Airfix in terms of the things we've seen so far. Let's get on then to the actual plastic, the stuff that we pay our money for. So, looks to me to be up to regular Airfix standard. Here we can see we've got a pilot and gunner figure, which is very nice. As you can see, we've got a pilot and gunner figure, which is very nice. And of course, the two fuselage halves, which are printed, or which are molded, sorry, to a very nice quality. Everything else is similar as well. There's minimal flash, and the mold quality seems to be very, very nice. Move on to the next sprue, and again, looks very nice. Minimal flow marks on these wings, which is nice to see. And again, the mold quality is pretty nice. And finally, this sprue as well. And again, same story here. Minimal flash, nice mold quality. The plastic is nice and thick. And yeah, no problems here at all. I should mention now, I forgot to look at the bottom of the box. I'll put this in where it should be. That's why there's stuff out. I realised that I hadn't opened it, or hadn't looked at it, sorry. So this on the bottom here states that the tooling and model design was from 2015, and this pack design is also from 2015. So 2015 model, so 2015 tooling, and 2015 decal and box design. So not the most recent Airfix kit, but not too old by any means. So it should be up to regular standard. Moving on to the clear plastic parts then, and let's take a little look inside of the bag. Of course, nicely packaged here so that we don't damage or scratch these. And of course, there's quite a few options, as this is a very glass heavy fighter. We have obviously canopy open and closed options, and we also have our turret. So this is going to be very difficult to mask, I fear, but it will get to it. It will be difficult, but it will be worth it in the end. If we can do this properly, it's going to have a really, really nice result. And of course, this plastic is printed to a very nice standard, nice and see-through, and there's no raw scratches or anything like that that ruins the quality, and they're not cracked in any way. So really good to see. So overall then, this kit is a pretty high standard kit, as you usually tend to see from Airfix. Now I paid $11.99 for this kit, and I think it was worth the price, but let me know down in the comments if you disagree. I have been FJ Modelling, and thank you for joining me here on the workbench. If you want to help support the channel, feel free to drop a subscription. It's free to do, and it does help out an absolute ton. But thank you all so much for joining me today as I opened and had a little bit of fun looking at the 1/72 scale Boulton Paul Defiant.